Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga. I am Grace. So happy you are here. We are going to be practicing a warrior flow today. Just trying to adjust this camera a little. Warrior flow. So let's start seated. Adjust that again a little bit. And our intention is standing in our truth, which is so powerful for us to honor our heart, stand in our truth through all our lives and every endeavor that we pursue. So we're going to begin with just a short centering, feeling that earth underneath us, taking some deep breaths into the belly and allowing the body to relax into this moment. Bringing your attention to the breath, present to this moment here now, honoring yourself as you sit on the mat, on the earth. Take this time to be with yourself, honoring your truth, standing in your power, honoring your sacred heart. And take this moment to scan your body, your being, scanning first the physical body. And as we scan, we notice without judgment, the neutral observer, just noticing. We don't need to change anything. We're just checking in with where we're at. Not making anything right or wrong, not even needing to describe or analyze anything. Simply witnessing. And taking that witnessing even deeper into the inner aliveness, the inner being. Noticing what it's like inside yourself, sensing that indwelling presence. And sending that indweller love, gratitude. And taking this time now to set an intention for yourself, something that inspires you, that you like to create in the world, in your life. It can be an emotional, it could be something physical. Feeling the emotions of this intention as if it's fully realized. How will you feel? Feel that now, right here now. And letting that intention go with a this or better, this or better, this or better. Beautiful. Let's come to a standing position. And just begin to warm up by shaking the body out, shaking it out a little bit, shaking it out, some twists, shaking out the shoulders, the hips, maybe bringing your hands to your hips and moving them side to side, making some circles with the hips, moving in both directions, those hips. Beautiful job, beautiful job. And we're going to do some tapping of the body, just waking it up. Tapping real gently on with the fingertips on the face and the scalp. And tapping that thymus right here in the center of your breastbone here. This activates your immunity center. Your thymus keeps it the right vitality and the right size so it doesn't shrink as you get older. So we tap it and just keep it awake and alive. Beautiful. And do a little bit of cross patterning as we activate the Ida and Pingala nadis and the right and left brain. And then as we go to one side, we can go to the other. In both hands. I want to get a little more creative and start doing the feet. Beautiful. Just wake up that brain, bring that nice cohesiveness between the right and left brain. Helps us to learn better and be more attentive when we're learning. Beautiful. And we're going to do our breath of joy, 3 breaths of joy. We're going to inhale the arms right up to shoulder length. We're going to open them up, open the heart up. This is the second inhale. The third inhale is all the way up. And the fourth is an exhale. And we're going to hinge down at the hips, nice and slowly, together. Bend those knees on the exhale. One more time. And let's stay down in our forward fold for a moment and just let yourself hang and feel this beautiful sensation. You move a little side to side, feel that lower back stretching. Slight bend in the knees. When we're ready to come up, we're going to come up nice and slow. The head's going to be last, so allow the head to hang, the arms to hang. We're coming up onto those lumbar vertebrae and the lower thoracic, one at a time, mid-thoracic, upper thoracic vertebra, and finally those cervicals. Going to bring the head up. Beautiful job, beautiful job. And we're going to move into our warrior. Remembering our intention is we're really standing in our power, we're standing in our truth, honoring the truth inside our heart above all. That is our agenda. We often go through life having agendas to look good or to please other people. But if we keep that agenda being to honor and please ourselves and live our truth, we may need to say no to people and things and circumstances that may not get us a popular vote, but we're honoring our truth. And that's what matters to us. So we're going to begin in our mountain. So begin to feel, I like to lift the toes, feel that ankle loop, feel a nice lift on the arch. Engaging the calves, engaging those thighs, feel a lift of the knees, pelvic loop. We're going to bring that pelvis into neutral, and kidney loop, lifting these ribs gently, shoulder loop, chin comes parallel to the floor, that loop comes back, shoulders move back, shoulder blades are going to come together slightly, and they're going to drop down away from the ear as that loop goes down the back. and skull loop, right from the tip of our head, lifting up, feeling the spine lengthen, the whole body lift up about a quarter of an inch taller maybe. We're going to inhale those arms up into a nice extended Tadasana mountain pose. And we can inhale as we go into a slight back bend. Exhale, hinging the hips. Stick that tailbone out and hinge at those hips, nice wide angel wings. We're bringing the hands close into the body. Bringing the hands down to a block or the floor. You can bend the knees if you need to. Have the thumbs near the little toes and just relax that head in Uttanasana, forward fold. Relaxing a little yes and no for the head. And then lift up. We're just going to do one sun salutation. We're going to move into warrior. And we're going to move into a half forward fold. And then exhaling down into forward fold. Taking that right leg back, moving into a lunge. Knees right over, front knee is right over the ankle. Arms are up, hips are square. Inhaling here in your high lunge. And if you need to be in low lunge, that's okay. You can keep the hands down. You can bend the knee lower. Let's engage those bandhas and breathe. Beautiful. Let's bring those hands down. We're going to drop the knee for just a moment here. And we're going to bring both hands on one side in a nice little blaster pose. And we're going to lunge forward and feel a nice hip opener on this right hip here. Moving it back and forth, feeling that nice opening of the hip. Beautiful. And then bring the hand back out, the left hand out. Let's bring that back leg up and let's take that left foot back into downward facing dog. Feel that tailbone lifting up towards the sky, heads between the arms, heels coming down towards the earth. And let's engage those bandhas and breathe. Let's kick that right leg out, bend that knee, and open up the hip on this right side. Opening up the hip, breathing. One more breath. And releasing down. Beautiful job. We're going to go to the other side, kicking that left leg out into three-legged dog, bending the left knee, and let's open up that left hip and breathe. And on your next exhale, bringing that left leg down. Beautiful dog. Beautiful job. We're going to come into a plank pose. You can come down to your knees if you like, and we're going to come down nice and slowly. And we're going to swoop up into an up dog. The thighs can be resting on the earth or they can be lifting up above the earth. Engage those bandhas and let's breathe. On your next exhale, curling those toes under back into your downward facing dog. Let's walk the dog a little here, stretching those calves. Coming back to center, lifting the head and the heart. Let's bring the right leg up. Move into a nice high lunge here. Front knees right over the ankle, back thighs engaged. Square those hips. Engage the bandhas and breathe. On your next exhale, bringing the hands down, dropping that knee down, bringing the right hand on the inside of the right foot, and beginning to lunge forward a little as we open up that left hip. Hip opening, keeping the breath flowing. Standing in your truth and your power, honoring yourself as you breathe, as you move, as you open. Connecting deeply with your heart where that innermost truth and alignment is found. Come back to neutral. Bring that right hand on the outside. Curl that back to under. Lift that foot up and walk or step that foot to the front. Back in your forward fold Uttanasana. Inhaling halfway up. Exhaling down. The next inhale, lifting the head, lifting the heart. Coming back into that beautiful mountain pose. Bringing those hands down in front of the heart chakra, the heart center. Take this moment to close your eyes and dive into the inner being, the inner aliveness, noticing sensation and feeling that alignment with your own sacred truth, your own sacred sanctuary of your heart. You're fully empowered to live your truth. Saying yes to your truth, your heart, even if that means to say no to something else. The yes is to ourselves. Beautiful. Relax the hands. We're going to come into a nice wide stance. We're going to move into our Virabhadrasana flow, our warrior flow, taking that front foot so it's 90 degrees. So I have my left foot front now. My right foot is coming in about 30 to 45 degrees. Bending the knee so it's right over the ankle. If it comes a little behind, that's okay, but we don't want it to go forward. And the hips are facing me, facing the side. And we're going to bring the arms out, and we're going to turn just the head to gaze out over those front left fingertips. And engage those bandhas and breathe. Empowered as the warrior, standing in your truth, standing in your power. Virabhadrasana 2. On the next exhale, drop the back hand to the back leg, reaching that front arm up in a reversed warrior, Viparita Virabhadrasana. Front knee is right over the ankle, and if you like, you can even straighten that front leg. Whatever feels right for you. Opening up the heart, engage the bandhas, and let's breathe. Standing again, honoring your heart's truth, your heart's guidance, above all else. Knowing that this is how the divine communicates to you through your inner heart. Next inhale, reaching the arm up, and then exhale, swooping that arm to gently rest on the front thigh. Back arm comes up alongside the body, engaging those bandhas, and let's breathe. Beautiful. Side angle. And now we are on our next inhale. We're going to straighten that front leg. We're going to move into triangle. Bringing that front arm down. Right arm is reaching up to a beautiful triangle pose. You can use a block for this lower arm. Let's engage those bandhas and let's breathe. Aligned with our truth. Courage to honor our own heart. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, bringing that hand down, bringing the hand on either side of the front foot. We're going to adjust the back foot to 90 degrees. And this right arm is rooted into the earth as I twist away from you into a revolved triangle, Trikonasana. Engage those bandhas and let's breathe. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, coming down. Moving into pyramid. As you allow the front leg to straighten, stay straightened, and bring the head in towards the leg. Parvattanasana, pyramid. Relaxing in this beautiful pose. Beautiful. We're moving into Virabhadrasana 1. We can take that back foot back to 30 to 40 degrees. Front knees right over the front ankle. And come up and we're going to square those hips. The hips are facing forward now, that front leg. And bring that knee back over the ankles. The arms come back up. Engaging those bandhas and breathe. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Honoring your own truth, your own heart, your own guidance. One more breath, reaching up. Beautiful job. And we're going to move into Virabhadrasana 3. So coming onto that front leg, lifting the back leg up, and breathe. One more breath. And coming back down. And facing forward. Going to move into a 5-pointed star here. So the energy is all coming from the solar plexus, and you have 5 lines of energy. So feel that energy go down both legs and the feet pressing into the earth. Up to the heart, out both arms and out both fingertips. Straight up and out through the crown. Engage the bandhas and breathe. Beautiful. On the next exhale, bringing the hands to the hips. And let's bring those heels in to what I call froggy feet. And we're going to bend the knees into a squat. So the knees are going to be going over the feet. It's wide squat. You find your squat. It may be way down low, maybe way up high, maybe somewhere in between. And bring the hands up into goddess pose. Those palms can be facing out towards the world, sending love to the world, the universe. They can be in towards your own self. Engage the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. On your inhale, coming up, bring the hands back onto the hips. Let's stick that tailbone out and let's hinge forward. Hinging forward into a wide leg forward fold. Coming down, bringing the hands onto the earth, relaxing the head. Maybe a yes, no, gentle movements, releasing any tension in the neck. Maybe moving side to side, feeling a little stretch. Side to side. And your own pace here, keeping the breath flowing. And coming back to center. And bringing the hands to the hips, lifting the head first. Let the head lead you up. Then the heart coming all the way up. we're going to move on to the other side. So now I have my left leg pointing 90 degrees. The back leg is 30 to 40. The right heel is going through the arch of the back leg. I'm going to bend that front knee so it's right over the ankle. My hips are facing you. Yours are facing me. Bringing those arms out and turning the head to gaze out over those fingertips. Engage those bandhas and let's breathe in our Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2, as we stand in alignment, aligned with our truth, with our heart, with our highest divine knowing and wisdom. On the next exhale, bringing the back arm to the back leg, we're going to move into Viparita Virabhadrasana, reversed warrior. Right arm is extending up. You can gaze up towards the heaven. Right leg is still right over the ankle. And let's breathe. On our next exhale, we're going to swoop that front arm to very gently rest on the front thigh in side angle, bringing the back arm up alongside the body, engaging those bandhas, and bring in the prana and life force with the breath. And on your next inhale, we're going to straighten that leg. On the next exhale, we're going to bring that front arm, like right arm down towards the floor. Beautiful job. We're in Trikonasana, triangle. Legs are straight with a little, not blocked though. And chest is open, heart is open. You can use a block for this lower hand if that helps. And we're going to engage those bandhas and breathe. You can look up towards the hand, or you can keep the spine in the head in alignment with the spine. Next inhale, reaching the fingers up. And on the exhale, bringing that hand down and bringing a hand on either side of the front foot. And we're going to move into our pyramid as you just relax the chest and the head down onto that front leg. And breathe. Next inhale, we're going to bend that front leg so it's right, the knees right over the ankle here. And we're going to square those hips so they're facing forward towards that front foot. Good job. And then bring those arms up into a nice high warrior one pose. And again, we are the warrior of love, loving our own self, our own heart, and honoring our own truth. Courage to stand in our truth, regardless of what anyone else says. To be ourselves, our authentic selves. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. Beautiful. On your next inhale, we're going to move into Virabhadrasana 3. So we're going to bend that front leg. Bring all the weight to that front leg, hinging forward, bringing the back leg up into a beautiful warrior 3. You can have the hands out straight or they can clasp. Engage the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. and coming down. Beautiful job. Let's stand front. Let's bring those hands back right in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. Close the eyes and dive inward. Noticing the energies that have been built up through this asana practice, that inner aliveness, that vibrancy within you. Basking in Pratyahara, inner sensations and aliveness. Very perceptive to those subtle sensations. And we are going to move into standing yoga mudra. It's a nice transition pose down onto the earth. And so I'm going to clasp my hands behind my back. This. I'm going to move this way for standing yoga mudra. And I'm going to begin to stretch out those arms back behind me as I squeeze the shoulder blades together and begin to hinge forward into a beautiful standing yoga mudra. The head is going to drop down, the arms are reaching up. And this is a time where we honor the heart. We honor our aligning with our truth, the truth found deep within the sanctuary of our heart, that sacred sanctuary, that divine wisdom. And one more breath. And on the exhale, releasing the hands, bringing the hands down to the earth. We're going to come up onto our knees. We're going to move into a camel. It's a really beautiful hip opening pose. We're going to try to keep these hips so they're up, right aligned, right underneath the knees. And so the first thing I like to do with the camel is tuck that tailbone under. Opens up this lumbar vertebrae, so when we go into our back bend, we don't crunch anything. Bringing the hands to the small of the back on either side of that lumbar vertebrae. And then open up the chest and begin to move into a beautiful back bend. And this can be your camel, keeping those hips over the knees, or you can take those toes and lift them up, or you could just come right straight down to your heels and bring the hands down to the heels. And if you see, my hips have moved back. And so now I'm going to move those hips back over the knees. And that's my hip opener. Head is in alignment with the spine. And breathe. One more breath. Beautiful job. Coming up, bringing the hands back to the small of the back. And we're going to move right into a child's pose. You can relax those toes and rest for a few breaths in your child's pose. The arms can be either extended out or alongside. Beautiful job. We're going to come up. We're going to move into a nice hip opener called a pigeon. So we're going to come up into a table pose. And let's take that left leg back behind us. And then we're going to take this right leg up in front and scoot it and get this right shin as parallel to the front as you can. You can never quite get it parallel, but do your best. Bringing the hands in front to either side and balancing yourself so you're straight up. You're not rolling over onto your buttocks. You're balancing straight up. This is a beautiful pigeon pose. You can actually come down onto the elbows if you like. You can even come all the way down. Feeling that hip opener on the right side and the left as well. One more breath and gently coming up. And we're going to move back into our table pose and move over onto pigeon on the other side. So taking that left knee back a little bit, taking the right knee is going back, left foot is coming up. And bring that left foot as back as far as you can, opening that left hip and the left shin coming as parallel as possible to the floor. And then again, balancing with the arms ahead, we're not rolling down onto our left buttocks. And here's your pigeon. You can feel that nice hip opener. And if you like to deepen it, to come down onto the forearms or relaxing all the way down and breathe. On your next inhale, coming all the way back up. Beautiful job. Moving back into that table pose. And we are going to move on to our buttocks. And we're going to bring those feet together into a nice Baddha Konasana pose. Feet are together. And let's just flap those butterfly wings. And then pressing those legs down towards the earth. Inhaling as we lengthen. And exhaling, folding forward. Feeling that nice hip opener here. And breathe. Maintaining that focus of honoring yourself and loving yourself so deeply that you align with your truth in all your actions, all your thoughts, all your choices and decisions. Next inhale, coming up. Beautiful job. And we're going to come right onto our backs. We're going to bring those knees into the chest and rock back and forth a little bit. We're going to move into a supine pigeon. So let's bring both feet on the earth, both knees up to start. And rooting that right foot into the earth, we're going to lift the left foot and rest the left ankle onto the right knee. Then we're going to lift that right leg up, bring the right leg in, clasp the hands behind the right leg and gently pulling it in, feeling the hip opening on the left side. And engage those bandhas and let's breathe. And enjoy the beautiful sensations of this hip opener. Deeply connected to the self, basking in your own inner nectar, honoring your own truth. The truth of your divine magnificence. One more breath here. And releasing that leg. Beautiful job. We'll go to the other side. So the left knee is up. You're going to rest the right ankle on the left knee. And we're going to bring that left foot up, left leg up. And pull that leg in towards your body. Finding your gentle edge. Honoring, never going into pain. Just honoring that edge. Engaging those bandhas and breathe. Basking in the nectars. One more breath. Beautiful job. And we're going to relax those feet and we're going to bring those feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana, supine butterfly. Feet are together, hands are wrapped around the outer edges of the feet and gently pulling those feet in towards the body. And bring a nice hip opener on both sides. Engage those bandhas and let's breathe. Beautiful job, releasing those feet, bringing those knees wide out, and the feet, soles of the feet are facing the sky. Knees are way out, even a little wider than the armpits in our baby. And we're going to pull both knees down towards the earth, pulling the feet down, feeling a beautiful hip opener on both sides, keeping the small of the back on the earth. Engage the bandhas and let's breathe. Totally free as we align in our highest truth from moment to moment. Basking in the nectar. And releasing those feet. And let's kick around a little bit. I like to do one more pose before we leave. My body is just really feeling craving. We're going to do a knee down twist, supine knee down twist. So let's take the left leg out straight, coming up onto that left side just a bit. And the right knee over to the left hand guiding that right knee over. Right arm is extended out. Move through the plants here. And turn the head to gaze out over the right fingertips. And breathe. And releasing that right leg. Coming back to center. We're going to switch sides. So we're going to straighten that right leg out, come up onto that right hip just a little bit, and bring the left knee over to the right. Left arm out 90 degrees and turn the head to gaze out over those left fingertips. And breathe. Releasing that left leg, coming back to center. Both knees up. Let's move into a couple releases. Let's move into our hula as we swivel those hips. My right hip is going down towards the right heel as the left hip comes up towards the armpit. And swivel in the opposite direction, keeping the breath flowing. Coming back to center, move into hip pointers. My right hip is rooted into the earth. I lift and point that left hip up. And I root the left hip into the earth and point the right one up. And a little tiny bit of a twist. Keeping the breath flowing. And coming back to center, we're going to move into cat-cow on the mat. So my cat, I'm going to press the small of the back into the mat, curl under that tailbone. And as I go into cow, arch the spine up as I stick the tailbone into the earth. Just moving back and forth into cat-cow, keeping that breath flowing, basking in sensations. Feeling great self-love, honoring your truth as an act of self-love. And coming back to center, we're going to walk those feet a little further apart to the outsides of your mat. And let's drop one knee down at a time. Into the center. And finishing up here, we're going to move into double knee drop, bringing those feet back to hip width apart and dropping the knees both over to one side. You can either windshield wiper those feet, those legs side to side, or you can lift the top knee, over to the other side and let the bottom one follow. Just a nice gentle way to do it. Find what feels best for you, or maybe a combination of both. Noticing sensations. And finishing up on this last side. Coming back to center. And let's bring those knees into the chest and rock back and forth. And final little releasing of the lower back as we move into our Savasana relaxation, integrating all the energies of this practice. Bringing those legs straight out. You can bring them a little wider. The feet can flop out wide. Arms can come out a little wider than the body, palms up. And feel the body sink deep into the earth as you relax and release all tension in your body. Let it all go. Let all tension, any little bit of holding on of tension, just release into the earth. She will take it all from you. Feel the body become heavier. Become aware of the back of your body that's connected to the earth. In the front. The entire body, 360 degrees, the inner aliveness, the physical body. Every finger, every toe surrounded by energy, life force, love. And bask in a few moments of silence as you integrate this practice into all levels of your being. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly as you begin to come back. Wiggling the fingers and toes, gently coming back, stretching out the arms and legs. And when you're ready, rolling over to one side or the other.